Hi, Baby Gwenny here. Welcome back to Forever Little. First off, I want to apologize for this series being on hiatus for so long. Technical and medical issues made it simply impossible for me to maintain a long-form series like this. But I'm reasonably confident I've got it all sorted out, and such a long hiatus won't happen again. I did try to keep uploading what I could to my channel in the meantime, to try and keep you, my loyal subscribers, interested and entertained in the meantime. If you haven't checked out my little music, I highly suggest it. Yes, their AI performed, largely because I can't sing or play the necessary instruments well enough, but I did write the songs. Anyway, today on the show, we are going to tackle the big stuff. And I don't mean big, like grown-up taxes or scary world news. I mean the big questions about being little. So, you probably clicked on this video because you saw the letters ABDL, or you're a member of the community and wanted to see my take on it. Or maybe you've heard rumors about the community. Let's clear the air. ABDL stands for Adult Baby Diaper Lover. It sounds like a mouthful, and honestly, sometimes the name scares people off. But at its heart, this community is about comfort, regression, and finding a safe space away from the stress of the adult world. The acronym ABDL is the most well-known for our community. However, this acronym is not preferred by all of the community, as it is a bit narrow, excludes a large chunk of people, and implies potentially negative things many of us try to avoid. First, it says adult, but not everyone who feels little is an adult. Second, it sort of suggests everything is automatically a kink, and that depends entirely on the person and the context. For example, I'm a lifestyle little. That means I don't just put on a costume for an hour. I live like this. It's not about anything sexual for me. I live like this as close to 24/7 as possible. I embrace a childlike wonder every single day. It's not a kink or fetish. It's an alternative lifestyle. This is not the case for everyone, but for many, the use of the word adult implies adult activity that we simply don't mesh with. My little space, yeah, that's a term, is a headspace where I feel safe, soft, and less tangled up with big world stress. A lot of us prefer the term little community because it's broader. It can include people who wear diapers and people who don't. It includes non-adults who engage in little play in a non-sexual context, as well as adults who choose to engage with the sexual side. The term little or little lifestyle is simply more inclusive and has less implications, and to many of us inclusion is important. We are a safe community for all types of people. We are very LGBTQ+, and accept anyone of any race, religion, or creed. The community is like a giant box of crayons. There are so many different shades. But what is a little? And what is the ABDL community? Simply put, we are a community of littles and their caregivers. A little is a person who, for whatever reason, enters a younger headspace, what we call little space. Little space is that cozy, younger feeling. Some people regress in age emotionally. Some do it for relaxation. Some for healing. Some just because it's fun to color and watch cartoons and have snack time. And some people, yes, do connect it to adult stuff. If that's you, It's your responsibility to keep it in adult spaces with consenting adults. Some go deep into little space. Others don't. Some love diapers, some don't. But if you enjoy being little, in any form, for any reason, you are part of the community. Now that we have the definition down, let's talk about the cast of characters. As I said, we are a vast community, and thus it would be impossible to go into every type of little out there in one video. So here's a few select groups and terms from the little community. Caregivers. You'll hear terms like mommy, daddy, bigs, nanny, or even babysitter applied to these people, but they are all caregivers. These aren't the little's biological parents, usually. Though there are some rare cases in which a little's actual parents will embrace their child's little self and treat them accordingly. This is rare, and I wouldn't count on it happening to you, but it can and has happened in some cases. But in general, caregivers are partners or friends or other people who take on a nurturing dominant role in a little-style relationship. They provide the structure, the safety, and the affection that allows a little to let go of control. They care for them and can do things like changing diapers, bath time, feedings, spankings, or other such stuff, depending on what their limit is and what the little is okay with. Not all caregivers will change diapers. Some will only change wet, but not messy. Some won't change any at all. Some breastfeed but won't bottle feed. Others only bottle. It all depends on their comfort level and limits, and that's okay. It's a relationship built on immense mutual trust. Baby furs. Baby furs are folks who mix the comfort of baby gear with the furry fandom, dressing up as baby animals and doing things like wearing ears or acting puppyish. Again, can be wholesome play, can be adult only. It depends. Sissies. For sissy babies, the experience often involves exploring a softer, more feminine side, sometimes but not always involving cross-dressing, using the innocence of babyhood to break free from rigid gender expectations. Brats. Oh, you know who you are. The brats are littles who love to test boundaries. They might refuse a nap or draw on the walls, specifically to get a reaction or correction from their caregiver. It's a playful dynamic about pushing limits safely. Kinksters. Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the nursery. A kinkster little is a style of little for whom being a little is primarily sexual. It can be spicy. It can be part of their romantic life, and that is their valid form of expression between consenting adults. Lifestyle littles. Lifestyle littles like me are those who try to live as little as possible around the clock. It is usually not sexual, but can be in some cases. For them, a diaper is just a comfort object, like a weighted blanket. A pacifier is just a stress reliever. Or it may be the case that when they are little they feel right, like their little self is their true self, and their adult self is just a mask. This is why when people ask my age, I usually reply by saying, "Do you mean my true age or legal age?" Because to me, they are two different things, with my true age being one, and my legal age being much older. This frustrates some people, but it is an important distinction. Baby slave or diaper slave. This is a subgenre of the BDSM and kinkster little subculture, in which the caregiver is replaced by a master mistress or other such dominant role, and the baby is assigned more grown-up slave-like duties, often while wearing a diaper or baby clothes. This BDSM little dynamic can be done the other way around too, with the little being in charge and the other party being the slave who is tasked with more caregiver-like duties. This version of the dynamic is more rare, but does happen. Princess is a role some littles like. It's about being cared for, feeling special, and delving into more delicate feminine, yet demanding aspects while not necessarily hitting brat territory. Crinkle. Crinkle is the sound a diaper makes when it moves. For many littles, this is a straight-up intoxicating sound that fills us with joy and comfort. Padding can mean wearing extra padding such as multiple diapers, or having extra padding in mittens or clothes for a babyish shape, more baby-like movement, or just for comfort. Crawlers are a type of booty often with spikes or ball bearings on the inside of the feet, designed to make it painful or uncomfortable to stand or walk, thus encouraging crawling. AIO, or all-in-one, is a type of cloth diaper that is, as the name implies, all-in-one. No extra padding needs to be added. No pins are necessary. They usually are held on with Velcro or snaps, and the whole diaper can just be thrown in the wash when used. Pocket diaper. A type of diaper with a built-in pocket in which cloth padding or smaller disposable diapers can be placed to add extra protection. TB, or teen baby, a type of little who is under the age of 18 and is in the little community in a non-sexual manner. It is sadly getting harder in the community for these littles, as most events are 18+ nowadays. Not because they are sexual, but because some don't understand that it can be non-sexual. For example, a few years ago, I went to a little event. I won't name it for privacy reasons, but it was an annual event. Back then, it was set up like family-friendly community time. Games, crafts, puppet shows, and more. Some people were underage littles with a parent or guardian. It was fun, and everyone was enjoying themselves. Then one person, an adult kinkster, decided everyone needed to see what they liked. They put explicit adult content on the big living room TV screen. Many of us were shocked. A bunch of people left the room. Organizers had to scramble, and after that, they made the event 18+ permanently. Not because being little is automatically adult, but because it only takes one person ignoring boundaries to ruin it for everybody. So if you're someone for whom this is a kink, you're not bad, but you do not get to assume it's a kink for everyone. You don't get to push adult stuff into general spaces. Respect is the whole point of community. In my time in the little community, I've heard a lot of questions and seen people make a lot of assumptions. There is one misconception that comes up more than any other. It's the scary one, the hurtful one. So let's rip off that Band-Aid. Are littles or the little community pedophiles? The answer to this is a simple and clear no. Absolutely not. Being an ABDL or little has zero to do with pedophilia. In fact, the two are opposites. Predators hurt children. Littles see themselves as children. We act as we do to heal ourselves or find comfort. We cherish the innocence of childhood. We do not prey on it. The mainstream media hasn't helped us in shaking this idea, though. Shows like CSI and 1,000 Ways to Die, or movies like Attack of the Adult Babies or A Dirty Shame, often portray us as a joke at best, or perverts at worst. These portrayals are hurtful and offensive, and are often made by people who know nothing about the community. On some level, they are understandable. They are made by big companies or studios trying to get shock views, and to outsiders, we seem like an easy target. But as Mr. Spock once said, I do not approve. I understand. Just because I understand why you're hurting someone doesn't mean I'm okay with it. And depictions like these are not okay. Yes, there are bad actors in our community. Like that guy from the Littles Meet that started watching porn in a public space at a family-friendly event. But that was a misunderstanding. And to my knowledge, there has never been a case of a little trying to hurt kids or others. Let me give you another similar example. You've probably heard of John Wayne Gacy. He was a serial killer who worked part-time as a clown. But just because he was a clown, does that mean every circus performer making balloon animals for kids is a secret murderer? Of course not. It means one murderer used a clown costume. Bad actors can use any hobby, any job, any community as camouflage. That's why communities need rules. Because one lone pervert, killer, or misunderstood event can taint the reputation of thousands of good, harmless people. Just like real working clowns, the vast majority of littles are the most gentle souls you will ever meet. We are people who crave softness in a hard world. We do not interact with minors in any explicit ways, for any reason, under any circumstances. Yet this stereotype of the pervert or predator little persists. If a minor is exposed to the sexual side of this, it is almost always a misunderstanding or the fault of a bad apple, not the orchard. Most of our events are 18 plus for this exact reason, even if there is nothing sexual planned for the event. Too many, it's simply not worth the risk. And this is understandable, even if it makes it harder for those under 18 to engage with the community in a non-sexual way. Myth number 2. You guys are crazy. You actually think you're babies. Spoiler alert. I know I am not physically 1-year-old. That would be a serious issue if I did. Age regression isn't a delusion or a mental or health condition. Being little can be a coping mechanism for some. Yes, it can also be stress relief, relaxation, or an alternative lifestyle choice. And some adults connect it to adult pleasure, which is their business, as long as it stays in consenting adult spaces. But it's not a diagnosis. It's not a guarantee someone is broken. We do not suffer from any more or less trauma or mental issues than any other group of people. Next myth. All littles wet and mess their diapers. Nope. This, like most things in life, is a choose-your-own adventure book, folks. The community varies wildly from person to person. Yes, some littles, like myself, wet and mess their diapers because it helps them feel small and helpless, and that makes them happy. Others mess or wet because it forces a caretaking dynamic with their daddy or mommy. But guess what? Some don't do either. Some wear diapers just for the feeling of being hugged securely around the waist and use the toilet like a big kid. Some don't wear diapers at all. And just like the clothes, fun, and toys, it's the same with all the baby behaviors. Some like to use baby talk because it helps them slip into the mindset. But other littles talk in their normal voices. Some crawl. Others walk. Some drink formula. Others drink soda. There's no little police who will arrest you for doing it wrong. The most important rule in the ABDL community is that we don't force our ways onto others, inside or outside the group. What you do in your nursery is up to your comfort level. Whether you are doing this for sexual pleasure, emotional comfort, or just because you like the aesthetic, you define your own little space. Do not let society tell you that you are wrong just because you're different. We are all valid. The messy littles, the dry littles, the sissies, the baby furs, the lifestyle littles, and the kinksters. We are all part of one big, wonderful little community. I'm Baby Gwenny. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
The cushion sank pleasantly beneath his back. The ceiling above was painted with swallows spinning through clouds. He didn't notice the stack of puffy padding until Vixen unfolded one, white, impossibly thick, with tough, sturdy-looking yellow tapes. "No," Jack said. The word small and sharp. He tried to sit up, but her hand on his chest was a gentle, immovable weight. I don't need that." Vixen's smile didn't falter, but it tightened at the edges. "Nonsense, sweetling. You're my baby now, and babies need their diapers."